Hello, how are you now? I'm James Whelan, occasional talking head for smallcaps.com.au. And today I'm joined by Brad Valiukas, who I hope I pronounced that correctly, Brad, the newly appointed Managing Director of Kaiser Reef, ASX code Kilo Alpha Uniform, a profitable Australian gold producer with operations across Victoria and Tasmania. For those new to the story, or the older the story, it's always good to hear it again. Kaiser Reef owns and operates the Henty Gold Mine in Tasmania, long life, high grade, underground operation with 300,000 tonnes per annum processing plant. The company also controls the Maldon Gold Project in Vic, which includes the Union Hill Gold Mine and a 200,000 tonne processing facility, plus a strong exploration footprint across the historic Maldon Goldfield. Kaiser has been steadily building a portfolio of production and growth assets, and their latest quarterly update, here we go, shows continued strength at Henty, coupled with important progress at Maldon. Brad, first of all, congratulations on your appointment as MD. You've stepped into the role following Jonathan Downes, who led Kaiser from exploration stage through to profitable production. Can you tell us a bit about your background and what attracted you to Kaiser Reef at this stage in the journey?
Thanks very much for making the time to speak to me today. It's great to tell the Kaiser story. So I'm a mining engineer by background, a huge amount of production and operational experience. And I think right now, the position that Kaiser's in, it's a really good fit for me in terms of assets. And I think I'm actually a really good fit for Kaiser in taking it forward. And really, we have a strong base to build on, a great opportunity to make something special here. And I think my background is ideally suited to this.
I'd say so as well. So it's over 25 years of mining experience, including, and this is a good one, some senior roles at Northern Star. How's that experience going to influence the next phase of growth for Kaiser?
So I think two ways. So on individual asset basis, so Henty, and no different to that Northern Star experience, we bedded in a huge number of operations over the years there. And really, we maximised all of those. So the job for us is to get the most out of Henty. Traditional playbook there, we optimise the operations, then we focus on the costs, then we grow the overall resource, and then we grow the project again. So we're really in that optimisation stage at the moment of Henty. We still see plenty of opportunity. And at Kaiser, we really need to transform that business from a little bit of an exploration focused and a small producer into being a much bigger and more serious mining business, not just to cope with what we've got now and really make the most out of all of our assets, but also set us up to be ready to take that next step.
Excellent. Now let's talk about the latest September quarterly production report. I always love looking at it quarterly. It was Kaiser's first full quarter of ownership at the Henty Gold Mine, and you produced just over 8,100 ounces of gold at a head grade of 4.12 grams per tonne. That's pretty good. With recoveries of almost 90%. That is a solid performance. And I'm no geologist, but I know good numbers when I see them. How would you assess this result? Well, I've already spoken for you. And what's next for Henty? What's next for Henty as you look to build on that momentum?
Look, James, I can't emphasise enough actually how good a result that is. So there's two things that have sort of helped us out there. Obviously, and all credit to Catalyst in terms of the way they left that operation, that we could come in and pick it up and continue to progress and advance and improve. I think it's actually the best result for Henty in recent times. So since Unity's had it, since Catalyst has had it, this has now been the best quarter for production. As you said, grade was good and recovery was good, and both of those have been improved. And as in most cases, when you get those sort of results, you've generally done something right. In this case, a lot of that reward goes or is a result of the improved grade control process that's been in place there at Henty, and the dedication of the team to really get more holes and improve the stoping that's going on there. And a lot of work done, really priority one work done in the front end of the plant there to improve the grinding and the classification. So that's really helped on the recovery. We had some material that was there that was thought to be difficult to get some good recovery out of. We've managed to put all that through. Really important now that we keep up the momentum, and we've had it that was our first full quarter, but there's still plenty to do there. We've just completed, post the end of the quarter, de-bottlenecking the back end of the process plant there. So we're actually sitting with spare milling capacity effectively right now, able to be used. And we've already said that we're about to undertake some trials with additional crushing capacity to get more throughput through that plant.
Excellent. So, feed the beast.
Yeah, we have some targets there, and Henty is very much a fixed cost site. So if we can get an extra 20% for very much forward-looking statement, we get an extra 20% through. That is great for our cost profile on that site.
So they were just purely. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it lets us get more tonnes through it, lets us get more ounces out. On the underground side, we're just coming to the end of completing a resource and reserve refresh on that site. News flow over the next couple of weeks hopefully brings all of that out. We're getting close, and there's a lot to flow into the underground after that in terms of how we want to feed that beast on the top, that increased capacity. We've already committed to the larger trucks and the larger loaders, so obviously we're optimistic and we're pretty confident of what those results are going to be. Yeah, very much looking forward to pushing the whole thing along.
Good, yeah. It being out of so fixed costs, you can increase the production off that, all goes straight to the margin, straight to the bottom line, which is super. Now, the report also mentioned drilling underway at the Maldon Gold Project with results expected soon. What's the focus of this program, and how does Maldon fit into Kaiser's broader production strategy?
I've lost you, James. Are you there? You're back?
There? Yeah, I'm back. Are you back? I think that we both had a bit of a crash out there.
Did.
Do you want to ask the three that question again?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I lost about the last probably 45 seconds.
Okay. It was, so yes, you just finished that. Good. The report also mentioned drilling underway at the Maldon Gold Project with results expected soon. I always love it when results are expected soon, a little bit of a catalyst. What's the focus of this program? How does Maldon fit in with Kaiser's broader production strategy?
So I'll start at the top end there. Maldon is a district scale opportunity. Kaiser and parties before us haven't had the funds necessarily to do it justice. We're in a great position now with Henty. So district scale gold play, numerous historical mines, dozens there, eventually, all sort of brought together and slightly bigger mines, multiple structures. We're not just one structure there, we're multiple repeat structures, really significant footprint there. And one of the things we really need to work hard on coming up is getting people to understand the actual scale and size of that opportunity overall. I mean, it's produced 1.7 million ounces from effectively the footprint there of the main mines down to around a depth of about 300 metres. Some fantastic grades historically, but it's bigger than that even. We're sitting there with great infrastructure. We've got the Union Hill mine on care and maintenance, but otherwise fully permitted. We've got the process plant operating. Every week we're putting dirt through that. It's been putting through the dirt from A1. We do some more purchases in the region. We've actually very potentially got quite a bit of low grade floating around the district as well, which if we don't have A1 feeding through it, we can just keep it ticking along quite nicely. And the drilling itself, it's a small part of a much bigger picture, and everything is obviously subject to results. Directly the drilling itself is a potential lead into going underground, back underground, there's existing decline and drilling more from underground, and then obviously leading forward to production. I'm a production guy, so that's obviously where we want to take the project.
That does make a lot of sense. You mentioned A1 Gold Mine as well. So with that transitioning now to care and maintenance, can you explain how that decision positions Kaiser for longer-term operational strength?
Yeah, so just to touch on A1, unfortunately, change in the nature of the mineralisation there means that Kaiser won't get to achieve what it was hoping to there. But Kaiser now, even without A1, is still in a fantastic position. We've got a great production base at Henty with plenty of upside, and we talked about how we want to, push that throughput through expand resources, reserve, etc. And then we've got a great development project at Maldon. So I still see us as a fantastic position, self-funded. Great growth at Henty, and potentially an entire new operation on top of that at Maldon. Hopefully, building a pretty good piggy bank at the top.
Yeah, that's key to these things. A bit of cash in the bank. So Kaiser. Now I'm going to say will have, based on that, a strong balance sheet. Although let's just find a way around that. Kaiser should have a strong balance sheet. How does that sound? No debt and a growing portfolio of producing and development stage assets. What are the key priorities for the next 6 to 12 months, both operationally and strategically?
James, I think Henty's already bedded in quite nicely to Kaiser, the team and the changes we're making to the operation. So the focus down there is now really getting the most out of that. We came in here with high aspirations in terms of what we could do to that operation. We're partway through that, so we just got to keep that momentum going. And I think everyone will look at it in hopefully 6 months' time and see a slightly different operation to what they do right now. And at Maldon, it's really about getting that district scale picture out there and properly articulated and starting to do the work there across the footprint that we have, really showing the scale and the potential that could be there. And of course, we've got to set the company up to take some next steps. We're involved in several companies that have been highly successful through a combination of both organic and inorganic, and I hope Kaiser is exactly the same.
That's very well said. Now, finally, what message would you like to give shareholders and potential shareholders as you step into this new leadership role and lead Kaiser to its next phase?
Well, firstly, to all our existing shareholders that have persevered, and some of them have received a little bit of upside just recently. Thanks very much for the support. For anybody coming in, the market has moved a little bit, but I think with the quality of the two assets that we have, the upside potential at both of those, there's still plenty to come. And, watch out for the news flow through October.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Brad, thank you for joining us, and congratulations again on the appointment. It is an exciting time for Kaiser Reef, and with strong production base at Henty, exploration momentum at Maldon, and a clear path for growth.
Thank you very much for the time and opportunity to tell the story, James.
Anytime at all, Brad. Look, thank you for joining us again. I am James Whelan, occasional talking head for smallcaps.com.au. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.